Otrimi coming in for opponent. It's gonna trigger a whole bunch of things. Ooh, opponent's gonna swords on it, so nope. And opponent's got a faith shield, nice, so it's gonna survive.
Today on Commander Replay, we try to win with the worst possible combination from Commander Legends, Elf Pirates. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 2 new Patreon supporters in Trenton McQueen and Chris Camp. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon, the link below. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange.
Welcome back, everyone. Got an extra special deck for you today. We're playing some Elf Pirates. I'll tell you about it in a second. Let's take a look at this opener. That can get us both colors of mana. Fabricate is important. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this. So today's deck comes to us from Patreon supporter Self, and he wanted me to find the worst commander pairing in Commander Legends and play those. As I started thinking about what that would mean, there's a bunch of different ways to interpret, quote, worst, and what I realized is that, like, if you play 2 really bad commanders that just aren't good on their own, have nothing to do with each other, what'll end up happening is, basically you'll just be relying on the cards of the 99 of your deck. So, like, one of the things I had thought about was Keleth Sunmare, but that being the case, you would just, like, play a Sun Titan, and Sun Titan would win you the game. So I didn't want to go that route where it was so bad that they literally just do nothing. So what I decided to go with was playing 2 opposing tribal commanders, because in their own right, they are very reasonable for their own decks, but together, it's a little suspect. So that's how I interpreted the best way to go about playing the quote-unquote worst pairing for Commander Legends, and that led me to Malcolm Keen-Eyed, who says, whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. And Numa Jaraga Chieftain wants to put X +1/+1 counters on any number of target elves at the beginning of your combat when you pay XX. So obviously we have 2 tribal commanders that don't have any overlap with each other, so we're going to try and make that work. And I played this deck 1 time already. It's interesting. It's not the most powerful thing out there. It's a little weird, but if we can make it work, it should be pretty exciting. Opponent gets themselves a Slitherblade into play. Mana Crypt into a Thaumatic Compass, going to be a fast start for Sean. Ooh, Mangara, you say. Well, that's not ideal. Play the Polluted Delta, crack the Polluted Delta. We're going last. That's not going to be great. And this is not a removal heavy deck, so that is not great. Anyway, one of the main things that's going to make this deck work is Maskwood Nexus, and that's why we see Fabricate and Tezzeret in our hand. So by having Maskwood Nexus, our elves are pirates, and our pirates are elves, and then we have elf pirates. And then we can take advantage of both commanders' abilities, and that's actually kind of reasonable. But without that, it's going to be a little rough. And opponent off to a blazing start. Mana Crypt will do that for you. It's unfortunate. Soul Ring for opponent. Man, everyone is ramping so hard. Dimir Signet. Slitherblade over to the Mangara. There's a Levitation. I guess we're just going to play the Time Stream Navigator because we don't have anything else. Get the Tropical Island, play a Time Stream Navigator. I mean, we may have to take an extra turn just to, like, try to catch up on land at some point. I guess we could also fabricate. Oh, I forgot to put Soul Ring in the deck. No, I did get Soul Ring in the deck. Oh, thank God. Thought I almost forgot it. We could fabricate for a piece of mana. That might actually be a good idea. Could get a Soul Ring. Cloud Key is very solid in this deck. Vanquisher's Banner is interesting. We will need card draw also. Opponent's going to poke us with the Mangara. So down to 36 we go. 2 commander damage. Opponent did get themselves an Archon of Sun's Grace. Oh, that seems good. Seems good with all their mana. Burnish Shark coming in for the Cromat. Ooh, that's a Fairy Vandal. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, never mind. Thought it was Fairy Artisans. It is a different fairy. Slitherblade, gonna keep poking that Mangara. Love it. There's a Forest. Forest is interesting. Yeah, we'll play the Forest. I think just get Malcolm right here. That'll get us a treasure we can use next turn. No reason to go anywhere with the Time Stream Navigator. Sword of the Animus for opponent. Oh yeah, now they're gonna start ramping more. Equip the Sword of the Animus onto the Archon. It's a 4/5 flying lifelink. Yeah, it seems good. Gonna swing into the Cromat. They go down to 36. Anowon, the Rune Thief, coming in. That could be bad for us, actually, because we don't want to get our Maskwood Nexus milled. Don't love it. Slitherblade coming our way. No blocks. So, 2 Anowon triggers. They get our Kinnan and our Praetor's Council. Well, Praetor's Council is one of the ways that we get things back. I think there's a second in the deck. There's an Amiiboid Changeling, fun card. Play the high market. Let's do some poking with the Malcolm. Does this have flying? What does this have? We'll poke Sean just because he's got a lot of lifelink. So there's a treasure. There's a bunch of different ways we could play this. I think what I want to do is fabricate for Vanquisher's Banner, but part of me also just wants to get a Soul Ring. We need the card draw. We don't have any card draw currently, so I think that's what I'm going to do and just set it up for next turn. Maybe if we get lucky, someone will wipe the board. So fabricate. Oh, we could get a Great Henge also, but we're a ways away from the Great Henge. Yeah, so we'll get Vanquisher's Banner. I want to keep that treasure token intact, so we'll just pass like that. Mana crypt flip for opponent. One's going to activate the compass. Sure. Gets a land. Plays a land. Selfless Spirit. Ooh, board wipes. Not going to be great against them. Unless it's a Deluge. Archon of Sun's Grace over to the Anowon. Mangara over to the Cromat. Opponent's going to crack the Burnish Chart. Here comes Cromat. Nice. Leaves up 2 mana. Could be a lot of combinations of stuff they could do right there. They can make blue-red for flying. That seems like the most likely candidate. Sure-footed Infiltrator. We should introduce our opponents, by the way. So Milk and Cheese 1, Sean piloting Mangara the Diplomat. Been in play, doing a lot of things already. Going to be mono white. A lot of different things you can do with it. You can do a life gain thing if you want to. Looks like they might have some enchantments due to the Archon Sun's Grace, or maybe they just like the lifelink. Next up in the middle, we've got Commander Cardinal piloting Cromat. Cromat always interesting. 5-color deck, could be anything, but it looks like it is going to be Cromat-centric, so potentially Voltron, but I'm not sure what else they've got. And then finally, we've got Dewubber piloting Anowon Ruin Thief, and this is going to be a Rogues deck. And so we see a bunch of things that can't be blocked, flying, and we're all going to get milled a bunch, which is not ideal. And we're going to mill 2 more, and the Fairy Vandal's going to get bigger. We lose land and a Kenrith's transformation, that's fine. Would like a land off the top, though. There's a land off the top. Play the Makokoro. Swing with the Malcolm. Malcolm trigger. Play the Vanquisher's Banner. We're going to choose Elf. There are a lot more elves than there are pirates in the deck. Then play the Changeling. I know we could wait for the Marwyn, but I really want to get a card draw right here. So Mangara triggers. Vanquisher's Banner will trigger. There's another land. Excellent. Pass like that. Mana Crypt flip on opponent. Sun Titan coming into play. That's a good one. You can get a Frontline Medic and a Promise of Tomorrow. And a land. Goes for the Promise of Tomorrow. All the board wipe protection. Gonna be tough to get through that. More stuff going on the attack. 2-1 coming our way. Down to 30. Angriest Armored Killer, a.k.a. Gemraiser. Oh, it's a mutate deck. They're going to mutate it onto the Cromat. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. I'm sure I'm not going to like this. Oh, okay. Going after the Mana Crypt. Thankfully not our Vanquisher's Banner. Slow down the mono-white mana production a little bit. Here comes another mutate, so it's Cromat Mutate. That's fun. Hadn't thought about that. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. So we're going to lose a little bit. And they get to blow up another artifact or enchantment. I'd go for the Promise of Tomorrow. Going for the Sword of the Animist, also fine. Although they got to deal with the Sun Titan, because the Sun Titan just brings it back. So we all lose a little bit of life. And they can regenerate that, so straight destroy won't kill it, or at least one instance of it won't. Still a lot of ways to get around that. Exile, sacrifice, bounce, all work pretty well. But regenerate's a fun little ability. Thada Adele. That's scary. Extract from Darkness. Each player mills 2 cards and you put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That seems good. We mill Harmonize and Lenoir Elves. Not too bad. Opponent mills an Austere Command. Glad we got by that. Yeah, they get Arkinnon. They can make green mana. That's not ideal. We do probably need a board wipe now for the Rogues deck. Ooh, currently the Cromat has Death Touch, Reach, and Trample from all the mutate abilities. Death Touch Trample's pretty solid. Takes a lot of blockers to stop something like that. And 3-4 coming our way. Gonna send everything to Sean. That'll trigger the Mangara. They'll get to draw a card. Infiltrator can't be blocked. Gonna Aspire's the big one. I don't think we have a safe place to get in with Malcolm anymore. That has Reach. That has Flying. Yeah, Malcolm's offline. That's not great. So 2 more triggers. This one will draw a card, and opponent's gonna take 5 damage and mill 5. Brings it back to our turn. There's an Amphin Mutineer. We can exile a creature. What do we want to get rid of? They can just sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. That's not the best. Sun Titan might be a thing. Anowon could be a thing. Let's play the Alchemist Refuge. Actually, yeah. I think we want to... Yeah, we don't have any safe attacks. Well, that being the case, I think we're just going to pass. And we'll use Alchemist Refuge to flash in probably Marwyn, but something else if needed. Commander says he has Divine Reckoning in hand, but that's kind of bad against Sean's tons of protection. Archon of Absolution. Protection from white. Creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. Yeah, that seems good. Oh, this is his Archon tribal deck. He was telling me about this earlier today. I just put the pieces together now. It's Archon-ish tribal is what it is. Skyclave apparition. Let's see where this goes. Is it 4 or less? 4 or less. Gonna go after the Kinnan. That's fine. Would have kind of preferred the Anowon, honestly. Ooh, if this leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner, that's us, we own the Kinnan, will get the illusion, not the person who stole our creature. That's fun. Sun Titan coming our way. That's not great. Opponent sacrifices their Selfless Spirit, and it'll get exiled under the promise of tomorrow. Is this the board wipe? Down to 22. No, they're out of mana. We survive another day. Here comes the Divine Reckoning. Well, this is interesting. I guess we hang on to the Time Stream Navigator. We probably need this board wipe, but actually, Sean's thing is under the promise of tomorrow. So that's probably actually the best that this could go. And when this goes down, we'll get an illusion. That'll be good. Opponent's going to save their Fairy Vandal. It's just big. We're going to save our Time Stream Navigator. Promise of Tomorrow triggers a bunch of times. So the problem with Divine Reckoning is that opponent's not going to get to use their Promise of Tomorrow unless the Sun Titan dies somehow. So this actually works out pretty well, I think. Cleans up a lot of problems that we needed to get rid of, and we still have our Time Stream Navigator. And we got through Sean's protection reasonably well. This stuff may come back at some point, but at least it's off the table for now. If opponent can mutate with the Cromat, they might be able to kill the Promise of Tomorrow with all their stuff exiled. And that would be nasty. So there's the illusion that we talked about. It's a 2/2. Ew, that's a Dismantling Wave. That being the case, I think it's time to draw. So activate the Alchemist Refuge, play Marwyn. We'll get to draw a card. It's an Imperious Perfect. Unfortunately, our card draw is about to go down, so that gets destroyed. Ooh, Consuming Aberration. Strong card. It's a 30/30. Don't get hit by it. Oh, Price of Fame. Opponent's going to shoot our Marwyn. Awesome. Really? Marwyn over Sun Titan? Oh, they said they didn't have enough for a Sun Titan, but still it's Sun Titan. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. Just wait till next turn. So most of the value on board has been destroyed other than the Sun Titan. The problem is that everyone has more lands than us. Opponent's going to swing with the Fairy Vandal. Yep. There's our Maskwood Nexus. Oh, that makes the Marwyn loss so much more painful. Well, that being the case, we can get Tezzeret and go for a Soul Ring at least. So I guess we do that. Tezzeret's going to take so much focus, though. Search our library for X1. Get Soul Ring. Play the Imperious Perfect. And we'll pass like that. We are once again staying put. Starnheim Courser coming in. Divine Presence. There it is. Gross. Well, at least that'll probably be the target for Cromat more than our stuff. Ooh, Cathar's Crusade. Things will be big. Sun Titan over 2. The Anowon player with the Divine Presence in play, they can attack safely because they both just do 3 damage to each other. What are they going to get back? Getting back Promise of Tomorrow. More board wipe protection. If on the off chance Tezzeret survives back to our turn, I think we get a Cloud Key. I think Cloud Key will help us a lot. Actually, if Tezzeret survives back to our turn, it's probably the time that we take the extra turn. Oh, you know what we could do? If we get the Merchant Raiders in the Maskwood Nexus, every time we tap this, we're going to get to tap stuff down. And that seems like a good plan. We just need opponents to be out of removal. Both are down to 2 cards in hand, so they should be fairly low. I think there might be 1 piece left, but I don't think we have the most threatening things in play right now, so. No attacks from opponent. Works for me. Gotta be careful with this thing on the loose. Oh, that's a Diluvian Primordial. Ugh. Praetor's Council? Probably. Also means we don't get Praetor's Council. Not great, not great. Opponent will get everything in their graveyard back. Pray for the misclick. I think Sean's got an Austere Command. We still have a Seasons Past in the deck, so we can still get some stuff back, but Praetor's Council is the thing you want in the late game. Opponent could Divine Reckoning again. That would not be great. Although they have more creatures, so they probably wouldn't. They can Chaos Warp something, though. They go for not our Praetor's Council. Love it. Fabricate, Chaos Warp, and Austere Command. Austere Command could be pretty painful. Maybe, probably going for enchantments. Enchantments, I don't know if they would go creatures, honestly. See if opponent messes up with the clicking. It's really common to mess up the clicking with Diluvian Primordial on Magic Online. I think they may have. Okay, nope. There's the Austere Command. Artifacts and enchantments. It's going to get our Soul Ring. It's not the best. Gets rid of that stuff, though. And Chaos Warp on the Sun Titan. Consuming Aberration getting very large. This thing's getting large. Might have to hit that with the Mutineer. Yeah, the removal's starting to get a little heavy-handed, and this is not a deck that is geared to being able to deal with a lot of removal. Gets an Elbrus the Binding Blade. Fun. Fairy Vandal into Tezzeret. Yep, that's unfortunate. It is going to be really tough for us to get ahead in this game. Everything into our Tezzeret. Tezzeret definitely not going to survive. Changes their mind again. Back in again. There are a lot of things in our graveyard, by the way. We're going to Spire's the big one. Problem is we can't block flying, so Tezzeret's still going to go down. Tezzeret down. There's a Beast Whisperer. There's some card draw we badly need, but yeah, it's this late in the game and we're still on 1 card a turn. That's not ideal. That's what happens when you miss lands. I have like no way to generate advantage. Flyers everywhere, so Malcolm's not helpful. Let's try the Beast Whisperer. Ah, crap, I forgot to make it green. Yeah. The Wanderer, that'll get rid of some stuff. I always want to run that card, and then I never do. Get rid of the Consuming Aberration. Opponent foretells a card. Which one is it? Is it the Protection, or is it the Board Wipe? This isn't a particularly high curve deck. We've just drawn like all of our 4-drops, and that's a little bit inconvenient. Opponent cracks Myriad Landscape. Otrimi coming in for opponent. It's going to trigger a whole bunch of things. Ooh, opponent's going to swords on it, so nope. And opponent's got a Faith Shield, nice, so it's going to survive. Commander into the Rogue's opponent. They're going to block. The Otrimi stack will trample over. Opponent will be able to get something back. Bitter Blossom for opponent. 4/5 into Cromat. Oh my god, if we can get Maskwood and Malcolm in play. Oh, we're not going to have enough mana. Take the extra turn and then try to get the treasures. Oh, there's a Reliquary Tower. Land is good. Play the land. I think now's the time we take the extra turn. Activate the Time Stream Navigator. Cast Numa. Get a Beast Whisperer trigger. There's the Seasons Past. Oh my. Numa trigger, but X is 0. We can do a little poke. We'll poke into Commander Cardinal. Actually, we could have attacked with more than that. Whoops. Opponents do have open mana, though. Ooh, there's a Zendikar Resurgent in our graveyard. We kind of need that. And Signet, Soul Ring. There's another land. Excellent. Play the land. I think we try to get rid of the Cromat right here. We can actually play 2 4-drops, and that's kind of nice. Play the Raiders. Beast Whisperer trigger. We'll keep the Cromat stack tapped down. Ooh, there's a Gyre Sage. We playing the Mutineer? I don't think we need to just yet, actually. So maybe we go Gyre Sage, draw a card. Ooh, Bloom Tender. Nice. Play Bloom Tender. There's a Chameleon Colossus. Nice. Jiraga trigger. I think we can poke opponent with that thing. Poke over there. Poke right there. That seems good. Leave our token back as a blocker. Mangara back to play. I don't think opponent foretold the Doomscar. I think it was the protection effect because they probably play it if it's Doomscar. They're going to attack us for 2, though. Can't do much about it. It's Divine Reckoning with flashback. Awesome. Yep, there's the Protector. What are we saving? Feel like card draw is okay. It's the mana I think we need now. All right, I think we're going to save Bloom Tender. Yeah, we'll save Bloom Tender. Everything back to the command zone. We are going to need some flying. Opponent's stuff's getting large. We're getting low on life. Port of Carfell. Mill 4 cards and return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Seems pretty good. Notion Thief, really? We're doing that. It's the Primordial. Awesome. Swords of Plowshares. Praetor's Council. Awesome. Yeah, now we just have to kill them. That makes me sad. Was hoping to use that myself. Swords on the Cromat. Other swords on the Glorious Protector. Ooh, opponent shuffles Cromat into their library so they don't lose. They don't exactly lose all of their stuff. And then the Praetor's Council is going to go off. That's going to be a bad time. Opponent's got 17 cards in hand. No max hand size. 4/5 into the Wanderer. Wanderer goes down. They just let it go. Could have saved it. I don't think we're the threat, so Seasons Past. Alright, start getting stuff. Ooh, there's an Ancient Tomb. Need that. Get the Ancient Tomb. Low on life, though. Zendikar Resurgent as the 7. Lurking Predators as the 6. Gyre Sage. Beast Whisperer. Llanowar Elves. Vanquisher's Banner. Reclamation Sage. I think that's everything. Play the Ancient Tomb. Play a Soul Ring. We could try Lurking Predators. Opponent's got 9 in the air, though. Let's try the Lurking Predators. Hope we get something good. Not a lot of stuff in play, so people will cast whatever they have. Pass the turn. Hope opponents cast a lot of spells and we get a lot of creatures. Mangara, Lurking Predators. We get, Ivy Lane Denizen. Nice. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield, we can put a +1/+1 counter on it. On target creature, so any creature. 2/2 into the Cromat. Cromat back to play, Lurking Predators. I feel like the ratio of creatures to other cards in our library is really good right now. Misty Rainforest, we actually don't have a land in hand. Put it to the bottom, though, because I don't think we've seen that many of our creatures, and we've got about 30. Bitter Blossom. We are lucky that opponent doesn't have a lot of mana. It's turn 11, and they're on 6 lands. There might be like a Soul Ring in there or something to speed them up a little, but they've really missed a lot of land drops, so as many cards as they have, it's going to take them... They're not going to be able to do a ton all at once. But we are low on life, so it wouldn't take that much to just kill us either. There's the Soul Ring, Lurking Predators. No other land. Missing there. Elbrus the Binding Blade coming in. That's probably going to flip over. Lurking Predators. Actually, there's a Spires right there. Another land. That's 3 in a row. Ugh. Frustrating. Equips the Elbrus. Thing will be a nightmare to block once it flips. Sean's thinking not. That's a Heliod's Intervention X1. Nice. They get a... Oh, we got a Wood Elves. Nice. And an Ivy Lane Denizen. Beautiful. Who we pumping up? Pump up the Wood Elves. Finally getting a creature. A little more ramp. Ramp is good. Get a forest. Opponent goes no attacks. Love it. Love it. Brings back to our turn. There's another land. I feel like we already saw that one. Crack the Misty Rainforest. Shuffle this library. Down to 13. We need life gain. I don't know how much life gain's in this deck. Very little is my guess. Get a forest. A lot of green in hand. Let's get Beast Whisperer. Actually, we don't need the card draw as bad, so I'm going to go Gyre Sage first. Ivy Lane Denizen. Pump up the Wood Elves. Do we even need the Beast Whisperer at all? I think I'd rather get the Levitation and the Mutineer. Or at least the Levitation. Levitation, Maskwood Nexus, maybe? Oh, Marwyn. Marwyn is what we need. Should have went Marwyn first. Whoops. Probably try to stay away from the Ancient Tomb right here. Mangara trigger. Ivy Lane Denizen. Keep pumping the Wood Elves. Oh, actually, we should have pumped the Gyre Sage is what we should have done. Well, getting all out of sorts here. Losing value. Played the Beast Whisperer. There we go. Ivy Lane Denizen on the Gyre Sage. Marwyn and Evolve. Get Levitation. Tap the Bloom Tender so we don't have to use the Ancient Tomb. So now we've got flying, and that's a pretty big deal. Got a 4/4 flyer. We'll stop right there. Pass like that. Felidar Retreat, Lurking Predators. Beast Within. I think we're fine without it. Keeper of the Accord, nice. Arcane Adaptation to the bottom. If we get back to the Seasons Past, then we can get back the pirate guy that taps everything down. Where'd that one go? There it is, the Merchant Raiders. That's the one I'd like to get back, and then we can just tap down all of opponent's stuff while we cast all of our creatures. And that will be glorious. Nylea coming in. Ooh, that's what this deck needs. Creature cost reduction is a big deal. It's the Great Henge. How bad do we need the Great Henge? We've already got a Beast Whisperer. It's fine. Put it to the bottom. I really just want to get the pirate thing and then, like, actually try to finish this up. It's the Mutate Destroy one. I imagine Lurking Predators is on the chopping block. Island, put to the bottom. Having surprisingly bad luck with this Lurking Predators. Only 2 creatures so far out of many left in our deck. What are we getting rid of? Yep, Lurking Predator's going down. At least it's not the Levitation, but the next one might be. Although Bitter Blossom, also an issue. Felidar Retreat, it's also good. Insatiable Hemophage, yep, that's bad. Just gonna drain our life more. Is there any life gain in this deck? None that, Primeval Bounty. Primeval Bounty can gain us life. Yep, next they're gonna shoot the Levitation. Don't love that. We're probably gonna die. Bitter Blossom trigger. Signet. Slitherblade back to play. Mangara gonna draw. Opponent's got 13 cards in hand. 7 mana. Hope that's not a Rift. Opponent's gonna poke us for 1. Knowledge Exploitation. Search target opponent's library for an instant or sorcery card. Cast it without paying its mana cost. Well, there may actually not be that many of those left. Windfall. We'll see what happens. Actually, opponent's got 12 cards in hand, so hopefully we'll get to the things we need. Oh, we're gonna lose Maskwood Nexus, though. Hopefully, yeah, so that means we're going to need that Seasons Past back. Opponent's going to Chrome as well, because why not? Get the protection. There's a fresh set of 12. What did we get? Mana Reflection, Primeval Bounty, Doubling Season, Rishkar, Corsair Captain, Wild Pair, Rhystic Study, and Sylvan Library. Did not get that Seasons Past, but we still have some draw power. 33 cards left in Library. Ew, Ashiok. Awesome, that's going to get rid of all the things we wanted. Fantastic. Yep, gonna exile the graveyards. Not going to get to do the Elf Pirate combo. Graveyard's exiled. There's an island. Okay, try to figure out the right order to do this. I think Mana Reflection first. I think we want to use lands on the Mana Reflection, because everything else is going to get... This should make 4. The other things will make even more than that. Tap these 2 for colorless mana. Let's get Primeval Bounty. Mangara trigger. Play Hinterland Harbor. Gain 3 life. Guess play Doubling Season. Primeval Bounty. Put some plus counters on the Gyre Sage. Yeah, let's tap the Gyre Sage. Brings us up to 11. Get the Wild Pair. Primeval Bounty. Start pumping the Marwyn. Counters are doubled. It goes up to 7. Oh, that's going to be so much mana. Play Rishkar. Primeval Bounty. Beast Whisperer. Make a 3/3. There's Eladamri, which is helpful because it's protection. Ivy Lane Denizen. Keep pumping the Marwyn. Bunch of things trigger. Rishkar on... I guess we go back to Wood Elves and the Marwyn. Wild Pair. Marwyn. Ivy Lane. Guess we'll pump... Oh, that's going to be a lot of mana. Start pumping the... we'll put 1 more on the Wood Elves. Or we'll put 1 more on the Marwyn. I think that should be plenty of mana to probably get most of the things in our deck. Wild Pair. Oh, right. We can't search. Awesome. Yep. Told opponents to go chill. And what's happened? Board wipes and stacks. Been that kind of game. 34 green mana? 34 green mana seems good. I think it's about time we can... Actually, we can probably play this Eldamri first. Make a 3/3. Ivy Lane Denizen. Let's start pumping the Wood Elves. Probably find something else to pump also. Who else do we not mind attacking with? Beast Whisperer? I guess Beast Whisperer. There's a Ghost Quarter. Wild Pear, Marwyn, Ivy Lane. Oh, they all have Shroud. We can't target them now. I guess we have to pump Eldamri. Whoops. Didn't realize that. Shroud is not hexproof. Those are different keywords. You know what? We can just get the commander and, like, put a hurting on opponent, I think. Maybe not yet. Play the Corsair Captain? No, let's just do it. Get Numa. Numa's gonna be 5. All the things trigger? Oh, the Shroud's really gonna kill us, actually. Yeah, that's a target elves thing. Oh, they have Forest Walk. Do they have a forest? They do not have a forest. How do we give them a forest? Really wish I didn't play that Eldamri. I guess play the Archdruid. Numa trigger. Yep, everything's got Shroud. This seems like a real non-bow. I'm gonna have to pull that out. Everything into the blue-black opponent. They've been causing us a lot of problems. Finally kind of getting to do our thing late here, but I'm still a little annoyed that they exiled the graveyards. Pretty annoyed. Wanted to use the Merchant Raiders. So they block everything. They don't take any damage, but they lose basically all their good stuff. They're wide open for someone else to finish them now. Sarah sent him for opponent. Ooh, Archon of Coronation. They don't take damage. Opponent send in lethal over to the Dimir player. Down they go, finally. They've been a source of tons of removal in this game, so thank God that's gone. Sean said he has a board wipe in hand, and he was contemplating what plays to make. He opted to take one player out, so he's not going to die to us anyway. We don't have any way to remove the Monarch, so, we'll probably lose all of our stuff on his turn. Sean discards a few things. Chromatic Lantern. Cub Warden. Ooh, we never dealt with opponent's mutate stack. They might just kill us with that. Yeah, that's not great. 3 triggers. Oh yeah, if they have enough mutate creatures, they can just take us down. Opponent's going to shoot the Felidar Retreat. Down to 8. Otrimi coming in. Yeah, it's going to be really close with the life loss triggers. Don't love this. Our mana doubler going down. Mana Reflection getting shot. Yeah, I think the next mutate kills us if they have one more. They have 9 cards in hand. Seems likely. Yeah, down to 4. Oh, it gains flying. We have no flyers. Our levitation got shot. Into us. Yep. Oh, you know what? We probably could have took them out. Well, we didn't have a lot of attackers. We needed haste. Haste was the thing we really needed. Down we go. Okay, so this is a really good lesson. As much as I wanted Elf Pirates to work, I've played 2 games with it now, it's a tough thing to work. You need to be in a spot where your opponents just don't play a lot of removal, because your whole deck is centered around Maskwood Nexus, and if Maskwood Nexus goes down and if people start messing with your stuff, it's not going to work very well. And so whenever you have something like that, whenever you have something that doesn't work very well, your deck is going to default to the most dominant thing that you have. So in our case, that was elves. We just had a lot of elves and we had some good enchantments. So by the fact that we couldn't really get our pirate game going, our deck just kind of became a bad elves deck is really what it turned into. And like I said, it's just really difficult to get to that place where you can kind of guarantee that opponents aren't going to run enough removal to get in the way. Maybe you could build it like a combo deck, but it's like a combo that doesn't really win the game, so you're building around something that's like cool and fun, but easily disruptible, and not really worth the effort to go through it. So yeah, it's been a fun little deck to experiment with. At least we got a decent game here. We got to see some of the deck later on. We had an atrocious start. Our early game was just awful. Couldn't ramp at all, couldn't find mana dorks. Drew like every 4-drop in our deck, and there's a few, but couldn't find any of our low drops to kind of smooth things out and get to the mana. And then the removal started for 8 turns, and oh my god. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Where a lot of Commander exists now, it's going to be very interactive, so it's hard to build your deck around a single thing in your 99, because there's so much removal that the likelihood of it staying in play is just so much harder than it ever used to be. So yeah, that's how it goes. We'll see what opponents got going. They did drop an Avacyn in right here. Yeah, I think they're in some trouble. Gonna use the Nylea ability. We'll flip over. I'll show you guys the combo that I was trying to assemble. So basically we get Maskwood Nexus, and Merchant Raiders allows you to tap opponent's stuff and make it not untapped. At that point, it will be whenever any creature enters the battlefield. So that's a fun little control trick. The other thing too is if all of the elves are pirates, you can get a bunch more treasures with Malcolm. And then you can use those treasures with Numa to pump up Malcolm or any of your other pirates when the Maskwood Nexus is in play. So that's kind of what I was doing, but like I said, when removal starts flying, a deck like this is just going to crumble, and when you have things that just aren't that impactful, your deck you'll kind of default to the most powerful things that you have. So for us, that was just kind of like generating value with Zendikar Resurgent late, Mana Reflection, Lurking Predators, and Primeval's Bounty. So that's the basic feel on the deck. You know, there aren't a lot of payoffs in Pirates. Here's a Corsair Captain, it's fine. I mean, that could easily be another elf if you wanted. And I also specifically chose not to go heavy on the Changelings, but you could go more on the Changelings. There were 3 or 4. There's the new Simic one. There's Orvar. You could use like Mistform Ultimus, and there's a couple in each color. I had Chameleon Colossus in the deck. Alina, Selfless Champion coming into play. Even more indestructible. Sean's got a huge army. Send it all in. Legal attackers anyway. I don't think that's actually lethal though. They're gonna block one. Opponents can activate their Nylea a few times. Anyway, to that point earlier that I was making about like defaulting to the dominant part of your deck, because there wasn't a lot of like pirate synergy, especially once the elves started coming online, like we weren't going to recast Malcolm. And it's the same thing I talked about. It's like, you know, obviously we're not playing white, but if we were, it's like, well, my commander sucks, so I just play a Sun Titan. And then Sun Titan kind of takes all the focus. So I was trying to build this in a way where we could take advantage of both. And, you know, it's tricky. It's definitely a hard mode thing to do. If you play in a really casual setting, it's possible. But I would not recommend it for the more interactive levels of Commander. Opponent's got another Mutate, can return an instant or a sorcery. Doesn't look like they have any. Bunch of triggers. I was going to get a bunch of Mutate triggers. So opponent finally scoops it. Sean's got his indestructible board state and can't take damage. So getting there with mono white. Already wrapped up on our deck a little bit. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, next time you purchase cards, if you want to support me and my LGS, be sure to check out mothershipatx.com and use the promo code REPLAY to save 15% on your next order. And if you can't find what you're looking for, you can use the TCG affiliate player link. All links are in the description below.